Hey, welcome to Tell Me How You're Mighty, real talk about cheating. I'm Tracy Shorn, the blogger known as Chump Lady, where I implore people to leave cheaters and gain lives.
And I'm Sarah Gorrell, radio broadcaster by day, single mother of 4. And 13 years ago, my ex walked out on his family for his affair partner. And it didn't feel like it at the time, but my life is so much better without him.
And we're here to tell you that you are mighty. We survived infidelity, and you can too. And this is our podcast. Welcome. Welcome to another episode. This is Tracy, Chump Lady here. Alas, Sarah couldn't be with us this week, but we have a filling co-host, Jenny, who you may know as the Happy Hausfrau blogger. And we are going to talk about when affair partners marry today, which is a subject that I know, Jenny, is near and dear to your heart because that happened to you. And this came up because of the Jeff Bezos, Lauren Sanchez wedding.
Oh, congratulations, you guys.
Do you have any thoughts about the wedding extravaganza in Venice?
Everything's parody at this point. It's real and it's happening, but I can't believe it's real and it's happening. Like there are people doing this. Like the guests, the celebrities, and like Oprah. Come on. The people who were there supporting it was really even more disappointing than the whole sham wedding.
I agree. Are you saying that people who are monogamy challenged perhaps shouldn't be getting married? Like if you're an affair partner, it's a bit silly.
Oh, you and I both know that. Yeah, they're just going to continue to do it. It's such a gotcha. It's such a, oh, I got it. And I win. To me, that's what it is. It's like, oh, see, it was worth it. It was worth me showing the entire world what a shitty person I am because now we're married and it's official and it's real.
I call it a big circus tent of impression management. But in this case, they could rent like the entire island of Venice. So it was something like obscene, like 50 million euros, or I don't know. They could have bought the entire island of Venice or something. The whole billionaire class part of it just makes it extra disgusting.
Right.
If you're like a normal chumpy person, it feels too like the bad guys win, and the bad guys often win, but we can point and make fun. So
Yeah, they win like in monetary and, real world ways, but you always got to remember that they have to live with that. And somewhere deep inside those shells are maybe a flicker of human soul and spirit. And perhaps they do feel some shame. Who knows?
who knows? I tend to think that they're empty elevator shafts where their soul should be. I just don't think there's any there. And what registers with people like Bezos or Lauren Sanchez or the fuckwits we will go on to discuss is that sparkles, right? Narkles, sparkles, that if it's shiny and people envy them, and that's what registers with them. And so that's why I think ridicule is like really important because they hate that, right? They want to feel triumphant.
Yeah. That's the thing about the narcissists is you can have 50 people in a room and 49 will be lavishing praise upon them. One person will be calling them out and they'll focus on that one person because everybody's got to love them and believe in them.
You are that one person. So I had a very weird situation in my cheater story in that the long-term other woman in my story was always a fuck buddy and never a bride. But she really wanted to marry him. So which was, she made up rings. The whole thing. I heard from wife number 2. It was really quite a story. So I think part of the sick high of it was denying him and then marrying these like chumpy women who had no idea about the double life. Like that was his kick.
Yeah.
So I didn't have the triumphant pick-me dance win of the affair partner winning, but you had that experience and you've written about it. Were you surprised by it? Were you expecting it?
I was totally expecting it just because I know I was married to him. So I know how he operates. I was not expecting the secrecy and they did it on the down low. They went to Bermuda. They flew off and had this wedding vacation. They didn't tell the kids. They didn't tell anybody that they thought would get it back to me. They were worried that I was going to fly down. I object. I was busy raising kids. I couldn't have done that. So
If you're not familiar with Jenny's work, this guy like skipped out, didn't pay child support on 4 children and left you with a mortgage to pay. But he had money for a trip to Bermuda, apparently.
he sure did, and a pretty ring. And I was up to my eyeballs in shit at that point. And this was just like another plop, just like, come on, what next? And there it is. Yeah.
That's what was next, right? I constantly get letters where people have learned about their exes marrying the affair partner, and even years later, even when you think you're at acceptance or mad, that it still can like rock your world. You can still feel like, oh, is it me? Like I wasn't worth the commitment, but this person was worth the commitment. I mean, what do you tell people in your community do you get the same kind of, I don't know, whipsawedness from people? They can't believe it. They're hurt by it.
In their situations,
Yeah.
yeah, if you're a human with a soul and feelings, it does. I mean, it leaves the scars aren't as deep and raw as they used to be, but they're still there. I mean, my youngest just got married in January, and we all went down there. And, Skankenstein, who was the affair partner slash wife, she was there and he was there. It was the first time I'd seen him in years. And yeah, it hurt.
So, how did you navigate that? Because I think a lot of people are afraid of that. Did she avoid you? He avoid you?
Oh, yeah. I was insane for the months leading up to it. Like, I was full scale, heavy anxiety every day. My 2 best friends went down to Texas with me, and were there for me for moral support. My family was there. My all my kids were there, obviously. Yeah, he did not say a boo word to me. Our first seeing, the Band-Aid was ripped off at the groom's dinner at my son's wife's family. They live in Texas, and they have a beautiful home, and they had everybody there. And I walked into the room, and I saw him for the first time, and I saw her for the first time in years and years. And you know what? Up until that moment, my brain was just I saw him and I felt an instant peace.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I did. I was like, "Oh, yeah, he's older. Yeah, she still looks like the tryhard with no chin." And they had their 2 kids with them too, which was interesting.
Oh, God.
But it was like, he just looks so boring. He's such a lump. You know, I've been broke and I've had a hard time. I've raised a million kids on my own, but I'm not stuck with that goateed lump sitting in a chair. And she's hovering, oh, she's trying to be it was fun.
Making sure he doesn't hit on the bridesmaids or something, probably.
Oh, yeah, she had the leash on real short the whole weekend. It was very interesting you say that because you could definitely see that she wasn't this confident woman. So,
Yeah, I guess winning the pick me dance is you're forever doing the pick me dance, right? There's no victor. You're just always insecure as someone's gonna come along. Yeah, the specialness rubs off.
yeah, it was fun though, and she, at the reception, it was the most lit party I've ever been to. They did a great time. We danced our asses off, and she kept trying to like boogie in. And I'd see she was wearing like this blue dress, and I'd see this little blue thing over to the side. My kids and the kids were like the circling of the wagons. It was amazing.
Oh, was there a video of this? There should be video of this. I just
Yeah. My adorable daughter-in-law said she was so afraid to show me pictures and videos because she didn't want it to hurt me. She's like, because they were in there, and I said, "Oh, no, 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 please show me." So she showed me some of them, and they were pretty funny.
Oh my gosh. I love that she's sensitive to this because I know it's like, this awful thing that we have to burden on our children when in this case, it's the next generation of having to deal around affair partners and all that.
Right. Oh, she is amazing, and her parents were so cool, and because we all went out and got our hair did, the day of the wedding, and her mom, Paula, who had gone down to visit them before for the shower and stuff, but she's like, "We are on your side. We know everything that happened. We just wanna know that we love you and we're here for you." And just, I started crying in the hair place because it's you do feel like the underdog for so long, and when people are truly aware and caring and show you that empathy, it's such a day brightener. Like, it saved me that day. It was really nice.
That's beautiful. I didn't have the affair partner boogieing into my space. It's like what made me laugh so hard. At my son's wedding, his fuckwit father who, like, owes child support, and you know the whole story, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was excited to hear how yours went.
He didn't bring his partner of, like, nearly 25 years, which I thought was curious. So, I don't know if she wasn't invited or he didn't bring her, but, that was weird. And he wasn't listed as, the groom's parents, so my husband and I were, so which is like, take that. But my horror was, so you have these seating tables, right? And he was seated in the table next to me with all of my friends. And I saw my friends and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it's so great. We're sitting next to each other at the table over." And one of my oldest friends, Leanna, goes, look who else is seated with us, and, like, shows me his card, and I went over and I found the wedding coordinator who, to me looked about 12, and she could tell I was, like, pissed, and I just said, "Look, you gotta fix this right now. I don't want him near anybody in my family, no one." And she fixed it, and she was really cool about it. So I don't know if it was just an oversight or people just thought, "Oh, everybody gets along," and, everybody doesn't get along, you know? It's not even that you don't get along, it's just that you don't want this person around you for good reasons.
All about the boundaries.
Yeah, all about the boundaries, and I think for people who aren't divorced and people who don't understand, like, these kind of dynamics or how painful it is, especially when you're a young person full of hope and it's a wedding and it's good vibes only, like, you don't really understand what it is to abandon your children and not pay for them, and, like, how much revulsion you have for this person, let alone affair partners or anything else, and you don't wanna be a bummer, but when you enforce those boundaries, people tend to think that if they see you in a different light, like, "Oh god," ooh.
All the bitter, grudgy. Yeah. We know all about that.
Right. And my friends were like, "Oh, don't worry about it, don't worry about it, we'll be the buffer." And I'm like, "No, I want to enjoy my son's wedding. I don't want this guy here. Are you kidding me?" And then the minute I enforced the boundary, I relaxed. I forgot about it. I literally, was like, "I'm cool. I don't care." So my message is boundaries, as you said, boundaries. You wanna get through this shit? Boundaries.
Yeah. When my son first announced the wedding and, I immediately went into panic mode. But one of my besties, Joyce, she said to me, "Do not ruin your kid's wedding."
Yeah.
And she wasn't saying it that you bitter old hag, give it up. She knows me and she knows, how the brain works. And I just kept those words in my head because I did hold my boundaries tight and I told the kids, I don't want to sit by them. Just that was really my only request was I don't want to sit with them and I emphatically said I do not want to be in a parent picture.
Yeah, that's really important, and for anybody who's going through it, I have a friend who's, like, a wedding photographer, and you're not freak of the week to make that request. That request comes up all the time. So if you're on the fence and you feel pressured into that, know that it's a really normal thing to ask for,
For sure.
and I'm paying for the photographer, so I'm like, "I definitely don't want any pictures here."
Absolutely. It's okay to speak your mind for those of you who are listening and who are dealing with or fearing it, worrying about it for the future. Speak your mind, say it with grace, and with kindness towards the people getting married. But you really do need to stand up for yourself.
Yeah, and I had to resist this urge in myself, like, when I was confronting the wedding planner, like, "Do not have this person near me." It's like I wanted to emotionally vomit all over them and marshal my evidence about why he sucks so much, and then I'm just playing into the bitter bunny stereotype, and I'll emotionally vomit on you, Jenny, but I'm like, I'm not emotionally vomiting on this poor kid, and I just made it really clear, like, "Not acceptable, it's gotta be fixed. Thank you very much for fixing it, but yeah, this isn't happening."
Yeah,
But that impulse to, like, defend my decision, to explain my boundary, it's like, "Nope, just have the boundary and let it go." You know?
that's exactly less is more. Less is more. We've been conditioned by our society, unfortunately, to have to prove ourselves and to have to tell our stories because otherwise, you are seen as the angry, mean ex who, parental alienation and everything like that. All that stuff that has been thrown around online and in books and everything for many years. Those of us who were on the other end of it really didn't have a voice.
Yeah. I think we're always working from the assumption, at least I am, that you're not gonna be believed and that, "Oh, you're being over the top or you're being dramatic," or, whatever it is, instead of, like, the just raw, bare facts of it. And the other thing is you don't have to tell everybody your story. It's terrible that we feel like we have to, and obviously we're doing this podcast to tell stories so people feel so alone if they're going through it, but not everybody deserves your awful story, They're not always a safe space, but yeah, focus, as you said, keep it short and simple, keep it focused on the boundary. You don't want that affair partner boogieing in your space, just
No, and the real story, the real result of everything does it shows, it comes out. And like at the wedding, at the end of the very end when, they were starting to clear everybody out, they played a song and my 4 kids and I danced, the 4 of us, like a huddle.
oh.
and it was beautiful. I mean, I'm like getting teary thinking about it. But that's our family. That's our core. And you don't need any stories. You see stuff like that and you're like, yeah.
Yeah, that's your story. And you're like you're living your truth. I mean, I think I tell people all the time that you're an intact family without a fuckwit. And like you just said, this is my family. Now you're years on the other side of it, but for anybody who's going through that, they're so worried that they're going to be perceived as like the broken family.
Yeah, you're not. No, there's no such thing as a broken family. You are your family. If it's you and your cat, you and your 4 kids, you and your 2 kids, you and your mom and your kid, that's your family. And that's what's important. And that's what you focus on.
I agree. Well, should we listen to some of our listener stories? I want your reaction here.
3 months after our divorce was final, he married his affair partner and sent both of our kids a postcard that said, "Hey, we did something." And it was a picture of the two of them in Vegas in front of the Little Chapel of Love. My kids had no idea they were even engaged. It was pretty awful.
So what do you think about this? I think this happened to you, right? The kids don't know about the wedding and this is find out.
Yeah. Hey, we did something. I love that.
We don't even have to say what the something is. It's a something.
I don't know. To me, that is just so shitty to not involve your kids. You know, to me, that's like the biggest red flag. If I was going to marry someone and he said, okay, but let's not tell my kids.
Right.
I was like, am I making the right choice here? I don't know.
Yeah, I'd be like, "Are you already married? Is this like bigamy? Like why can't we tell people?"
Right, right. Like that whole thing, it's just, that's gross. And to me, that's just like, why? Why would you commit to that? I don't know.
The other thing I think that's really bizarre about it is that I think it's the cognitive dissonance of sending a tourist postcard from Las Vegas. It's just sort of like, "Hey, having fun. Wish you were here," kind of. It's that kind of that's what you do postcards for, right? It's like a really superficial gesture, which is probably what you could say about cheater weddings. It's a very superficial gesture.
Yeah. Like I'm shocked, but I'm not because these guys and these women, whoever it is, bumping uglies in the affair, nothing they do anymore surprises me, but it's still repulsive. It's still like send your kids a postcard from Vegas. No. What's wrong with you?
I know. And then the other thing about it, not only is it weirdly dissonant, but it's kinda like dropping a bomb on it's the distance of it. It's that you don't have the guts to do this in person, so you're just gonna mail them a postcard.
Right. Like what the hell? What about a conversation? What about, hey, let's go out to dinner. There's something I need to talk to you about. But a postcard, come on.
It's gutless. It's gutless. Yeah. So, a pox on that guy.
They picked up a lot more in Vegas than a wedding certificate.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, unless it's on a postcard. Okay, well, we have another one. This isn't essentially a story of somebody marrying their affair partner, but it's not an assignment, but I'm including it because it really shows that when you're in the pick me dance, which is what the affair partner is doing, marrying a cheater, it's that nobody is winning, right? And that even if you have hints or thoughts that they might be a cheater, that there's no winning move with the pick me dance. So let's listen to this one.
Back in 2015, when I was about to get married, 5 minutes before I walk in the reception, I got a call from a woman saying that she was sleeping with my fiance and it was the biggest mistake of my life. Get married to him. Of course, I called him right away. I was in about to tears, and my mom was like, "The makeup, it's a lie." And he, of course, told me that that was just, a big lie, that people hate me because, I got him and he was at that time a quarterback in second division in a big college university where we're pretty young. I believe him. Of course, later I found out that everything was true. We had a baby a couple years later. He cheated on me after that. Like our baby was 4 months old. And then after that, we went to marriage council. And after that, he got pregnant to 3 women, military guy, of course. I'm happily divorced. But yes, so it was really, really crazy.
Did you have any red flags when you were nobody I wish to God someone would have told me that my ex was a cheater. I went in completely blindsided, and in fact, at my wedding to the cheater, there were many affair partners, but one of them was at my wedding, and I paid her bar tab, which makes a special kind of chump.
No. Oh my God.
Yes, I found out later. Yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy? And she pretended to, like, befriend me and said it was, like, completely messed up. She was renting his house. Oh, yeah, I know, but you're not surprised?
I mean, I'm not surprised, but I'm sorry. That's awful.
I know, but I think his family honestly didn't know. But he had friends, like, really douchey friends that were there that knew, right? They knew that what the person knew, and they were like, "Oh," drinking and, like, having a good time, and, like, nobody told me. They let me walk into this complete train wreck.
Nobody wants to be the bad guy. And, nobody wants to send someone the message that, you're about to make the biggest mistake of your life, because, hey, the wedding's already paid for. We're already here.
Right. And this poor girl who left the message, I mean, she got the message. Talk about terrible timing. I think if you're gonna tell somebody, don't wait until hours before they're about to walk into the church or whatever. I mean, that's almost cruel, and that does feel like something an affair partner would do. But I also think I'd rather I always tell people, and it's usually other women that write to me with this question, but I'm like, even if your intentions are not pure, you should still tell the person because they have a right to know, right? And even if the timing here was bad, but I could see the tremendous pressure she was under and the vulnerability that she wants to believe this guy.
And also, it is a lot about saving face.
Yeah.
And my God, so she got the call at the wedding, like right before. I mean, I don't know. Part of you probably just goes into shock. My therapist calls it, dissociation, where part of her brain was probably like, oh my God. And the other part was like, oh, okay, now we walk in, because you have to compartmentalize everything. And I can't even imagine what was going through her brain at the time. I think we're so wired to survive that we just sort of forge ahead, okay, so maybe this is true, maybe it's not. I'm getting married. We're married.
Yeah, and you're gonna go with the narrative that you wanna believe. You wanna believe that there's this malicious person who's trying to ruin his big day and telling a lie, and that's much better than realizing you've been living a lie and this guy's a fraud. I mean, if you're gonna pick alternate realities, I think you'd go with the first one.
There's also the I can fix him thing. Maybe he did, but guess what? I'm about to give him the ride of his life. He'll never cheat on me.
Right. Yeah, we all know how that worked out.
And also, people think that the wedding band being married is somehow sort of like a protective bubble. We know it's not, but we think that because a lot of us are still hopeful.
Well, and in fairness to our naivete or chumpdom or whatever, we always blame people who like, I could see people blaming this woman. Well, they told you he's a cheater and you went and married him anyway. But we don't blame cheaters for presenting a false front and deceiving us. This guy was publicly making an investment in you. He invited his family, his friends,
Yeah,
and like you're not stupid to believe commitments that are made to you, especially something as major as a wedding.
right.
So instead of going, "Oh, how could she know he was a piece of shit," or whatever, but so getting to our first example, maybe Lauren Bezos really believes she's married and that dick won't wander, and
You never know.
you never know. Although in that case, like if it's an affair partner, I'm ha fucking ha because you conspired in the abuse of somebody else to get him or her. So you have none of my sympathy. But for this woman who wrote in, who's as far as we know, not an affair partner, you have all my sympathy. I mean, nobody should be put in that position.
And why didn't the person tell her before the wedding? Like way before. Like it was a last desperate gasp for her to maintain the affair with him. Like maybe if he doesn't get married, he and I have a chance or whatever.
Who knows? Yeah, I mean, that's a good way to look into their brains. I mean, my thought would be, and this is just as reading chump lady letters from other women, it's that she wants to lash out. She's mad at him, but when you're in that pick me dance mind fuck, she sees this chumpy woman as her opponent and her enemy. I don't understand that for affair partners. I mean, part of the reason I imagine that you hate the chump is that the cheater is like talking them down and telling you the suppressive force that's keeping them locked in monogamy and
Well, you're standing in their way. You're an obstacle, whether you're a present obstacle or a past obstacle.
yeah, so you might wanna blow up the wedding for revenge, and to get back at them. I mean, it's a shitty thing to do, and also I think you could cover yourself in glory and go, "Well, I told them, my conscience is clear."
Right. Yeah. Sort of put a Hail Mary to make yourself feel less like a horrible person.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? But I still come back to it's better to know than to not know because now every day she goes forward in that marriage is something shady, she can go, I was warned."
Oh, gal, yeah. Oh, and he's a military guy too. Interesting. Well, I'm glad that she finally got out of it, but man, what a downer. Your wedding day. It's like Alanis Morissette. It's like rain.
Well, you know what? I don't know what's worse, like knowing and going in with a downer or being me and like paying the other woman's bar tab at your wedding. It all sucks. It's not the pain Olympics. But thank you for all the advice about how to get through it if your, ex marries his affair partner or her affair partner. Thanks for being here.
Oh, my pleasure. Absolutely my pleasure.
Reach out to us. You can check us out at tellmehowyourmighty.com or check out the blog at chumplady.com. I'm always open to your suggestions there.